Okay. Welcome you all to intermediate course day 4. All these days we've talked in general about nutrition, how to eat, what to eat, and a little bit of what you need to do to stay healthy and other things. Today we are going to dive into the TCM aspect of it. Okay. We are going to look at the TCM approach towards nutrition. And according to TCM, how you are going to use food and nutrition to treat people and diagnose people, we'll get to know. Okay, and what are the basic concepts involved in TCM nutrition? We'll get to know. A little information about that you will get today. Again, before I start the presentation, please, all of you, mute yourself. If your cameras is on, I don't mind. I would like it, but make sure you're all muted. Okay. So today is a very interesting topic. We'll go right ahead into that. Okay. So this is what we are going to discuss today. We are going to discuss about TCM approach to nutrition. Okay. It was just a comprehensive understanding. On a whole, if you want to treat people and understand how food and nutrition plays its role through TCM perspective. So this is what we are going to learn today, or we're going to make an attempt to understand and learn the nutrition aspect of TCM. Okay. Yeah. In traditional Chinese medicine or TCM, it recognizes several different vital organs. We know this. Okay. So it is divided into 5 different elements, and all the 5 different elements are associated with its own yin and yang organs. And these each yin and yang organ in the TCM principles are associated with their own particular taste. Okay, each element and each organ in that particular element is associated with its own particular taste. Okay, and each taste in turn governs either in the way of supporting or in the way of controlling the functioning of the vital functions of the organs. Okay, of these particular organs. What are that? How is it? We'll get to know in detail today. Okay. According to TCM, food is not just solid food. Both solid and liquid food are categorized into 2 different parts. That is, as you know, yin and yang are the basic categories of TCM. So even in food, you have yin foods and yang foods. And you have foods particularly designed for yin natured people and yang natured people. Okay. One thing we have to remember is it is very important to approach TCM principles and the nutrition aspect with the open mind. And here we have to consider individual health of a person's individual constituency, what nature he belongs to. Okay. Among the 5 elements that are there, which element is his composition or which archetype he belongs to. Based on that, his age, his sex, his health condition, and the geographical location to which he belongs to. Just to elaborate a little bit about that, see, what kind of food and nutrition you used to eat as a baby differs from what kind of food and nutrition you prefer, and it is you're advised when you're at age 20, 30, whatever age it may be. According to age, your nutrition will also change. The kind of foods that you intake or your body requires will also change. Okay. And also the kind of sex you are. Females are advised to have certain kinds of food at different stages in their life. Okay. Men, it is different. Okay. And based on geographical locations, when I say geographical locations, I've also spoken about this many a times. Okay. What you eat is not basically dependent or how you perceive food and how you digest and how your body accepts the kind of food you eat not just depends on what kind of food you eat, it also depends on your genetic memory or your evolutionary or your geographical memory. Supposing you're from India, okay? Even in India, we have different, it is a very vast country with vast array of pellets, okay? Every 50 or 500 kilometers, you will find drastic change in the kind of food and the taste preferences, particularly in India. So we are a very diverse country when it comes to food and taste. Okay. What you eat in your local area differs from what people eat in elsewhere. North India, East India, South, Middle. Okay. Even in Karnataka, we have different kinds of pellets in different areas. Okay. Over the period of time, okay, what you have eaten, your parents have eaten, their parents have eaten, okay, your ancestral memory is there because you receive gut bacteria from your mother, okay, you eat the same kind of food for a long period of time or generations together, your body accepts that particular kind of food easily. Okay, no wonder we are having so many health related or food related diseases and associated health lifestyle related diseases nowadays because we are all trying to make our food westernized or Europeanized, okay, which we are not accustomed to. Similarly, person living in Japan, person living in Africa, Europe, may not be able to easily assimilate or accept the food that we eat here in India. So that is what I actually mean by geographical location. It always doesn't mean that people say eat local. Now the world is very big and people migrate a lot. Okay. So once you start moving from one continent to other, one country to another, okay, even though you might be eating what is grown locally there or what kind of cuisine they prefer or cook, your body will be able to accept things better if you're eating your traditional kind of food. Okay, that is a very important concept in TCM and it is taken very seriously. Okay, any TCM practitioner you see will advise their patients not just with acupuncture, acupressure, or other allied principles and techniques, but they will also advise about nutrition. Okay, nutrition and diet is a very important aspect of TCM treatment. Okay, let's move back. Yes. So all these things you have to keep in consideration when you're looking for a TCM diagnosis and treatment. Okay. And it is also important to note that the TCM dietary recommendations or prescriptions are based on a holistic approach to health. We do not say that people with diabetes eat this. People with BP eat this. People with rheumatitis eat this. Okay. Each and every individual is different. The recommendations and prescriptions are given for that particular person. There is nothing generalized in TCM. Okay. You will never treat symptoms or you will never treat diseases. In TCM, you will always treat the person. Is it clear? And you will find vast differences between the nutritional approach in TCM and the Western scientific perspective. Okay. As and when we go through this, you will find a lot of contradicting things. Okay. But today, what we are going to discuss is based on TCM. TCM knowledge, experience, and all these hundreds and thousands of years of treating patients and understanding their composition as such. Okay. So have an open mind when we're going through the next slides and understanding the other aspects in TCM. Okay. Now, in TCM, we have different organs associated with different taste. Let us look at each taste individually. Okay. Liver and gallbladder is soup, isn't it? Heart and small intestine is bitter taste. We all know this. But still, for convenience sake, okay, For people who don't know, for new, we will just do a small recap. Okay. The next is spleen and stomach. The flavor associated with spleen and stomach is sweetness. Lungs and large intestine, it is a dryness element. It is associated with pungent or acrid taste. And kidney and urinary bladder associated with salty taste. Okay. Any imbalance in these tastes or excess or deficiency in these tastes in your diet can directly or indirectly affect that organ or the controlling organ. Okay. How we'll come to know. So basically, since we are all made up of 5 elements, it is very important to have a balanced diet which incorporates all these 5 elements or 5 flavors. When these 5 flavors are in balance, your chi is in balance. If there is any imbalance in the nutrition aspect, in the flavor, or any excess in one, or neglecting or deficiency in any one of the flavors, or any, when I say flavor, it is not just the taste. I'm also talking about the nutritional aspect of these flavor containing compounds or foods. Okay. When I say flavor, it is not just the taste. Don't think about just your tongue. Okay. Each element or each taste or each flavor also controls and affects the functioning of that particular organ. So it is the nutritional aspect of that also. Okay. And in TCM nutrition, it also incorporates, we have to think about hot, cold, and neutral foods when you are treating patients and understanding the problem in patients, or if you have to rectify anything. Okay. So 3 more important things that we need to remember in TCM is, TCM diet is, we need to be mindful while eating. Okay. When I say mindful, you need to be aware as to what kind of food is there on your plate, what kind of food you're ingesting, and what kind of food you need to take. What kind of food suits your personality or your situation based on your current health situation, your current preferences, your age, and other things. Okay, you need to be mindful of what you're eating, when you're eating, how you're eating. Okay, and also need to be mindful when eating. That is, you need to be present with the food. Okay, nowadays it's become very common. Na? You get a plate, in a hurry, you eat. You don't even realize what you're eating. You're having a meeting and you're having a dinner in that meeting. You're having dinner, but you don't know what you're eating. You're not mindful. Only when you're consciously eating what you eat, that particular flavor or that particular taste will have its effect, desired effect on your body. So when you're eating, eat with your family. Keep your gadgets off. Do not sit in front of the television and eat. Okay. Do not eat in a hurry. Right. So be very mindful when you're eating. That is what is mindful eating. Okay. Not just taking the prescription of the doctor. Your dietitian gives you what to eat, gives a list of things you need to eat. You need to avoid just blindly following. Your body, your mind, like I told you, it is very closely related to emotions. Baby. Voice is not loud. Can't you hear me? Okay. Anybody else facing the problem? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Clear, ma'am. No problem.
Okay. So those who are not able to hear properly, please check your internet connections. If possible, log out and please log in again. Okay. So that is what is mindful eating. Right? Yeah. So the first important thing is you need to be very mindful while eating. You need to know what you're eating, when you're eating, how you're eating. Stay conscious, stay with the food. Okay. And eating according to season is very important according to TCM. What is eating according to seasons or in season food? Nowadays, you get watermelon 365 days throughout the year. We get apples, pomegranates 365 days, all season, all weather, anywhere, any place. That is not the right kind of food. Okay, today we'll discuss even the seasons and what kind of food you need to eat according to what seasons. Okay, we'll discuss about that. So you need to eat according to the season and according to what naturally grows in that season. Again, it comes back to the same thing, eating organically and natural foods and wholesome foods. Try to eat as natural as possible. Right? Another most important aspect in TCM, just a few minutes ago, I told you, eating within your cultural DNA. What is this cultural DNA? If you belong to a particular culture or a particular area, geographical area, your food is influenced by the crops, the weather, and everything in that area. Over the period of generations, your body, your DNA, your system is in align with those kinds of foods. So you'll be naturally easy to absorb the nutrients and you'll be easy to assimilate those kind of foods. So eat according to your culture. Nowadays, the Western culture is becoming a global culture. Food culture. Everybody wants to eat pizzas, pastas, okay, chips, morning cereals, oatmeals, everything. That is not meant for everyone all over the world. Okay. Certain people are more accustomed to eating more carbohydrates. Some people are accustomed to eating meat. People who are not used to eating meat. Used to meaning I don't say since birth you have not eaten, you're not used to. I mean to say if you don't have the ancestral DNA to assimilate those kind of foods, you will not be able to assimilate those foods and you will be causing more harm than health. Okay, people say it is good. Okay, they say meat is good. You get all your vitamins, B complex foods from meat. But genetically and culturally, if you do not have the DNA or if you're not used to those kind of foods, your body will not assimilate these foods. Most of the times when I see a lot of patients, they come for certain issues, certain tricky patients are there because there'll be a mix of different issues. They will have coldness also, they will have hotness also, they will have dryness in one area, they'll have dampness in one area. Okay, they will have excess in one place, they'll have deficiency in one place, they'll have stagnation in another place. So such patients are very difficult to treat. You need a lot of patients to treat them. Okay, even after prolonged treatment, certain times what treatment you give them will show wonderful results, but that is only transient. They'll say, ma'am, when you gave this protocol, I felt very good. For 2 months, I was okay. When I stopped this, I started having other kinds of issues. Then you need to ask the question, why? Every TCM practitioner or every natural medicine or alternative medicine practitioner has to have some aspect of being a detective. You need to keep asking the question, why? Why is this? Okay. So when you find the reason why, you'll be able to treat them. Most of the times, this is the reason in patients I find. They're not used to eating one kind of food. Okay. All of a sudden, they're either working abroad or they're staying away from home. Their eating habits change. And that causes a profound effect on your health and which people don't realize. Okay. So this is a very important aspect in TCM nutrition. So these 3 things we need to take care. Right? Yeah. Now let's talk about yin yang foods. You know that yin means coolness, yang means hot or heat. Okay. Yin means slow, yang means more. Yang is always excess, yin is always deficient kind of character. It is a combination. They are interlinked, they are interdependent, they can convert from one into other, and they can consume each other. These are the basic properties of yin yang. This we have learned in our basic course. Okay. So similarly, even the food that we eat is divided into yin and yang. Basically, the coldness and hotness aspect. So if you are a yang kind of person, okay, let's talk about yin foods. Yin foods are nothing but coldness foods. Okay. If you are a yang kind of person, you will be preferring yin kind of foods. Okay. For example, if the person feels very hot, is a hot person, or lives in a hot weather, or newly he's changed his location, he's moved from a cold weather to a hot weather condition. Okay. He's having excess fatigue, excess hunger is there, red face is there, lot of agitation, anger, these kind of issues are there, or these kind of personality that patient is there, or these kind of features are seen in that person. This kind of person is a yang kind of person. Okay, somebody is unmute, please. Okay. So yang kind of people, yang personality people will generally prefer, or they are prescribed yin kind of food. What are yin kind of food? Fast growing plants, particularly watermelon, lettuce, cucumber, radish, spinach. Okay. Your methi, yeah, your bananas, they are all yin kind of fruits. They grow fast. Okay. And raw fruits and vegetables also come under the category of yin. That is, they are coldness producing foods. Anybody is having coldness related issues? Okay. Aches and pains in the joint. They have a tingling sensation in the hands, not enough circulation going around in the body. Okay. And cold extremities they have, hands and feet they have. Okay. These kind of people should not have yin foods. Okay. People who take excessive amount of raw foods and vegetables will start to develop yang deficiency or excess yin characteristics. So if you're already in a yin kind of person, you should not eat this. These kind of foods are preferred for yang personality people because we need a lot of yin to control the yang in them. Okay. Foods that are blue in color, purple in color, and green in color, they are generally considered to be yin foods or cooling foods. Okay. Sprouts, anything that is sprouting is cooling. Okay. Fermenting foods, marinating foods, stir fried foods, all these foods are yin foods or cold foods. Remember those pulses and other seeds that you eat directly, if they're not sprouting, they will give rise to yang in your body. But once they're sprouted, they give you yin properties. Okay, they're very good in treating excess yang related features. What are the excess yang related features? For an example, severe upper headache, tremors if you have, hot flushes if you're having, okay, heat related issues if you're having, agitations if you're having, restlessness if you're having, insomnia if you're having, all because of yang excess if you're having, improper digestion, people who feel like using the restroom immediately after eating anything because they have excess yang in the body. For them, it is preferred to eat yin related food. What are yin related foods? These are the foods. Right? Salads, the fresh green salads that you take. Seafoods generally are considered to be yin. Okay. When it comes to non-vegetarian foods, meat is generally considered to be yang. Within meat also, you have both yin and yang related, but generally meat is considered to be yang. But when it comes to seafood, meat that you get from seafoods, okay, fish and prawns and tuna and other things, they are yin related foods. So now you know. How many of our yang personality people here? Raise your hands. Yang personality people. All you yang personality people, you will be having this kind of diet in your system. in your day-to-day life. Again, you need to have some self-discretion to decide whether I truly belong to yin or yang, or even though I make me a prominent yang kind of person, if I'm having seasonal related issues and I have a tendency to move towards yin, I will be careful while using certain foods. So with this knowledge, now you know how mindfully you will be able to eat. Similarly, yang foods are heat producing foods or okay.
आप जा रहे हो लेने? आप आओ गरम
जी सर, म्यूट कीजिए प्लीज. Mute yourself. Yeah. So they're generally heat producing foods. Anybody who is having stagnation in the body or having issue in blood circulation or chi circulation, these kind of people are people who are having excess yin in the body, excess coldness in the body. Okay. These kind of people will have yang related foods. What are yang related foods? Long growing plants or plants that take a lot of time to grow, particularly carrots, parsnip, cabbage, ginseng, all your spices come under yang related foods. Within spices, you also have coldness related, but generally your spices are considered to be yang. Your peanuts, peanut is considered to be yang. But now, if I say what kind of food is peanut butter? Is it a yin food or a yang food? I want you to write in the comments, people who have little bit knowledge of yin and yang. What kind of foods are peanut butter? Does it come under yin or yang? Peanuts are yang, but when you mix it with butter or milk products, it becomes yin. Because milk and dairy, yes, Lakshmi and Gayatri are right. They are yin foods. Peanut butter converts to yin. See, this is the small, very important intricacies and discretion that you need to understand. You need to have your own personal discretion about selecting foods. Ma'am said peanut is yang. So if my kid is having cold, I will take bread, make a toast out of it, I'll put peanut butter and send. Will it help your kid? It is going to create more yin in your kid. Okay, now we look in detail what foods come under yin and yang. Then you will understand. Okay, so long growing foods come under yang fruits. Okay, cooked fruits generally, anything that you cook or which is easily digestible, they are considered to be yang. Okay, for example, potatoes, yams, your soups and stews, your rice and your grains. When you cook them, they are considered to be yang. Again, in yang, we have three different categories. One, cold, neutral, and heat. Okay, in each and every food categories based on the different taste. Okay, but generally these foods are considered to be yang producing. So to put it in a nutshell, baby foods or foods that are easy to digest are yang kind of foods. Or they promote yang in your body. They promote circulation. They promote movement. Okay. If you are eating heavy and very difficult to digest kind of foods, you will have a sluggishness in your body. And you know that sluggishness or heaviness that you find in your body is associated with yin. So if you have to be agile, if you have to be active, you have to take more yang kind of food. Or people who are more active or have a lifestyle which requires them to be active, they are supposed to take yang kinds of foods. For example, orange and yellow colored fruits, yellow and red colored fruits are all yang. Your green chili, okay, your bell peppers, your carrots, your beetroots, they're all yang. Your pomegranate. Generally, I will advise most of my patients or my students. Okay, particularly if your kids are having fever and cold and cough and other things. Because of that, you will see you are having lack of appetite. Lack of appetite or that reduced hunger, it all denotes yin. So I will ask them to take 1 glass of pomegranate juice the next day in the morning hours, not in the night hours, particularly in the morning hours. Okay, 1 day, every half an hour or every 1 hour, little bit of pomegranate juice, if you're able to take, you will see that your appetite will increase drastically. Okay, because it is a yang related food. Okay, red and yellow related foods, easily digestible. Soups, juices, they're all easily digestible foods. So they enhance the yang property in your body. Okay, all your deep fried, sauteed, pressure cooked foods, okay, steamed, boiled foods, they all come under yang related foods. So generally we say people who eat lot of deep fries or oily foods, they will have yang related health problems. What are the yang related health problems? One example, if you can give me. One example of yang related digestive issue that you might get. Anybody? That acidity that you get now after eating lot of oily foods. Yes, acidity, headache, that belching that you have, that excess gas that is blocking, and that chest pain that you get. Okay, that heaviness in the chest that you get. Right, that acid regurgitation that you have. Yes, constipation can also be both yin and yang. So if you're having constipation with difficult defecation, having very dry stools, that is yang related. Okay, migraine is also associated with yang related foods, excess eating of oily foods. All of you are absolutely right. Okay, so these are all yang related foods. And ginger tea, I told you, spices generally are considered to be okay, yang. So anybody having cold, you will say you take ashwagandha, muleti, ginger, all these kind of, you have that spice tea that you get now. We make that kashayam and that stew that we make with spice and we drink. They're all yang related. They increase the yang in the body, the heat in the body. Okay. So one thing we need to remember is, now that we know that yin and yang, supposing you identify yourself to be an yin person and you realize that you need to have yang kinds of food. That doesn't mean you will have only yang kinds of food throughout the day, 365 days, 24/7. You will have predominantly yang kind of food, but you will also incorporate a little bit of yin. Because we know too much of yang will cause yin related issues or yin deficiency related issues. So if you have to balance that yin deficiency, both yin or yang, whatever, you need to be mindful and eat both yin and yang kinds of foods daily. So if you're having a balanced diet, balanced meal, which incorporates all these 5 tastes or all these 5 elements in them, that is the right kind of food that you can have. Okay. Next, we look at the dry and damp kind of food. Okay. In TCM, food is not just divided into yin and yang. It is also divided into dry and damp foods. What are dry and damp foods? Let's look at dampness first. Okay. In dampness, you have thick and thin body fluids that are associated with dampness. Dampness means water, isn't it? Retention or holding of water or any kind of body fluids. In body fluids, in TCM, we know there are 2 kinds of body fluids: thick fluids and thin fluids. Okay. I'll not go into the Chinese terminology because it will be very difficult for people to understand. But just remember, in TCM, we have, when we talk of body fluids, we talk of 2 different kinds of body fluids. What are they? If there is too much water, okay, like for example, if you're having water retention, swelling in your bodies, any part of your body, if you're having swelling, that is water retention. If you have excess mucus formation all through the year, even though you might not be having a cold or flu, but still you feel like expectorating mucus every now and then. That is excess water kind, and constant postnatal drip if you are having. Okay. increased salivation if you're having. Okay, just today I was talking to one of my patients. She's complaining of increased salivation. Okay, I am giving her the treatment for reducing the water content. Okay, to eliminate this fluid retention in the body. But still, the result is not there. Can you tell me why? The point that I'm suggesting her is SP9 and stomach 40. One is to stop the formation of this phlegm or excess water that is there, and one is to eliminate whatever phlegm that is formed. But still, she is not finding any relief. The main reason is, in spite of informing that these things are there, you're taking medicine for headache or you're taking medicine for acidity, you're also advised to stop or eliminate the kind of food or environment that is causing that in the first place. So without proper knowledge, just using acupuncture points, and again you're taking foods that are increasing your yin or increasing your water dampness in your body. Okay, eating a lot of sweets. Okay, fried foods, dairy foods, cold foods, eating lot of raw foods and salads. These will also lead to dampness. Okay, so continuous use of these kind of foods will cause to increase in dampness. Because of that, that issue of saliva is not getting resolved. So we need to make sure to reduce damp forming foods. Okay, people have a lot of phlegm accumulations. Okay, this is the kind of thin fluids or water retention that happens. Whereas in thick fluid, it is too much greasy accumulation in the body. If it is there, that is thick fluids. Greasy means you have sticky bowel, sticky stool. Okay, thick sticky mucus if you're having. Okay, lot of white discharge, thick white discharge if you're having. Okay, if you're having greasy skin. Okay, if your scalp is having a lot of greasiness in them. These are all symptoms of excess dampness, that is thick fluids. Okay. Okay, what you have to do? What you have to avoid? Such kind of people are advised to avoid dairy products, sugars, and sweet foods. Because in basic TCM, we have learned that the taste for dampness element is, or your earth element is sweet. If you are eating excess sweet, it will become excess in dampness or humidity. But on the other hand, if you're completely eliminating sweets or the sweet kind of taste in your food. For example, when I say sweet, I don't just mean sugar, jaggery, and other things. Your honey, your fruits, okay, your dry fruits, even the normal rice and the wheat and other grains that you eat, they also come under category of sweet. If you're completely eliminating all of them or not incorporating these kind of food in your diet, then also you will start having issues in dampness. That is deficiency kind of symptoms in your spleen and stomach. So we say ativrishti, anavrishti, both are bad. Anything that is excess, anything that is less is also bad. Everything in moderation is good for health. So such kind of people should have sore foods. Why sore foods? Why should such kind of people have sore foods? I'm trying to connect my iPad so I can. Yes. Sore foods is because your sore taste is associated with the liver element or the wind element. And when we talked about the cycles, different cycles, particularly the controlling cycle, we learned that the wind element controls your humidity element. So if you're having excess dampness, to eliminate the dampness, you'll have to start incorporating sore foods in your body or astringent foods. Okay. These foods will dry all the fluids in your body. Okay, not just avoiding dampness forming foods, you need to incorporate sore foods. Okay, the wind element in your food. Okay, What foods come under this? We'll look into it detail when we come under, when we start studying each element one by one. Okay. Yes. So we need to do including of sour foods also in our diet. What are the examples? Lemon is one kind of sour food which is excellent in eliminating your dampness. People who are having diabetes, people who are having excess dampness, water retention, okay, excess phlegm and other things. Okay. If you are having lemon in warm water first thing in the morning, it is very good for eliminating your dampness. Okay. Green apples are another example for sour foods. Okay. Your red apples are come under sweetness, damp foods only. But your green apple or the wood apple or things that we eat, dandelion that we have, asparagus, all these come under sour foods, which will eliminate the dampness. Right? Yes, kiwi is also a sour food. Okay. Lot of sour foods you have. Okay. But when you're using dandelion, be sure if you're already having little coldness in your body, that is known to have increased coldness drastically. So if you're already having coldness symptoms, don't use dandelion. You can use asparagus. Asparagus is excellent for eliminating dampness in the body. Okay. One common green leafy vegetable which we eat in India is asparagus. Okay. It is a medicine actually. So it is not just a regular food, it is a medicine. So when used according to your situations, it is an excellent medicine. So if your kids and if you're having cold, cough and other things, don't eat green leafy vegetables. They'll produce more damp. They're coldness generating foods. So avoid green leafy vegetables. Okay. Or any green colored foods. So let's look at dryness. In dryness, you have deficiency in body fluids. Here, generally it is excess in body fluids, both the thick and thin. In dryness, you have deficiency in body fluids. If there is a lot of dryness, there will be deficiency or absorption. Dryness generally usually originates from excess heat. Okay. So it is going to dry up all the moisture in your body and you start having dry eyes, dry skin, dry stools, itching in the body, lot of irritation, mental, physical, all kinds of irritations will be there. Okay. And excess wind can also sometimes cause dryness. Okay. What these kind of people have to do? The first and foremost thing they'll need to do is hydrate with electrolytes. The two things that you need to do if you are suffering from dryness. Okay. People who are having dryness related issue, all these above mentioned issues, constipation because of dryness, excess heat if you're having. First thing you need to do is hydrate yourself with lot of electrolytes. Okay. I hope I'm audible. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So what are the foods that come under electrolytes? Okay. I'm not talking about the ORS. Don't take ORS. You need to start incorporating watermelon, cucumber. If you're a non-vegetarian, you can have bone broth. Okay. Make a broth out of the bone and then eat. Don't start chewing on bones directly. That will create even more dryness. Because we know dryness element controls our bones, no? So bone broth is excellent for eliminating dryness. Okay. Soups and salad, juices that we take. That is why generally it is advised, na? When you have cold, cough, fever and other things, lot of dryness is there in the body. Okay. Heat is there. Heat is producing and you have a lot of dryness. So the best kind of foods that you can give to such people are a lot of soups and juices. Juices generally come under the cold category. So cold is nothing but water element. So it is going to hydrate your body. Okay. Your tender coconut, your buttermilk, all those things come under hydrating foods. Right? Not just hydrating, because we know there are two types of fluids in our body. Thin fluids and thick fluids. If you're deficient in thin fluids, you are going to start using hydration method. But if you're deficient in thick fluids, okay. Yeah. Thick fluids, if you're having lot of aches and pains arthritis related issues, bone related issues. Okay. Particularly when it comes to old age, during old age, just hydration will not help. You need to have some lubrication. Okay. People who have a lot of constipation and in spite of lot of hydration, drinking water also, if they're not able to eliminate, that is basically because of lack of lubrication in the intestine. Complete dryness because of lack of thick fluids. That mucous membrane that is there in the intestine is dried up. Okay. It has to be lubricated. How do you lubricate them? Foods rich in fatty acids, particularly omega-3 fatty acids. Okay. That is present in seeds, nuts, salmon, avocado. Clarified butter or ghee is excellent for these people. Flaxseed oil, your coconut oil, all these foods. If you start incorporating them in your diet, it is going to be effective in eliminating the dryness in the body. Particularly when you start aging a little bit, you will tend to lose a lot of liquids, fluids. Okay. Because your kidney element or kidney organ is becoming weak, it is not able to control or hold more water. So you need to keep lubricating your system frequently. Yes. Now let's look at each and every organ individually. Okay. And look at the elemental concept of that and see what you are supposed to eat and what kind of foods are advisable for these organs and what is to be avoided. Okay. The first organ we are going to look at is liver. Okay. Liver comes under the wood element and the taste for liver is sour. Okay. Foods that affect the liver or foods that have to be taken in moderation, okay, or to be taken very rarely are spicy and greasy foods. Excessive consumption of this spicy and oily greasy foods, okay, it's believed to create heat in the liver heat rising or liver yang rising, liver heat toxicity. Okay. This is going to lead an imbalance of energy flow because we know liver governs the flow of chi. If liver yang is more or liver is affected, its function will be reduced and you will have imbalance in energy flow. There is no uniform distribution of energy flow throughout the body. Okay. One example is excess eating of oily foods. Just now somebody said migraine. When liver yang is rising, liver heat is rising, the chi is flowing to the upper part of the body, reaching your head and causing migraine headaches. Okay. So such kind of people should not eat spicy and oily foods. Another food to avoid is alcohol. In TCM, it suggests that excessive alcohol consumption will disrupt your liver function and it can cause liver chi stagnation and liver heat. So in TCM, alcohol is a no-no for your liver, particularly if you're taking it on a daily basis. As a medicinal purpose, if you're taking it, because even in alcohol, there are different foods. Okay. If you're taking wine and whiskey, it is different. They are yang related foods. But if you're taking beer, which is made out of wheat, it is a yin relating food. It is a coldness generating food. Okay. So in TCM, alcohol. Yes, somebody wants to say something. Okay. So these two foods or foods that come under this category have to be taken in moderation or to be very careful while taking these foods. Okay.
Latest app and Udhampur jada muda da death hoyi jada case transfer
Gurnam sir, you want to say something? कुछ कहना है आपको गुरनाम सर? नहीं क्या? Okay. Okay. And highly processed foods. When I say highly processed foods, already we have talked about what are processed foods, what are wholesome foods in the last class. So anything that is far away from its natural base or natural property, processed foods or refined fruits, your maida, your refined oils, okay, foods that contain a lot of preservatives. Okay, these are a major challenge for your liver. Your liver will not be able to process them and eliminate the toxins in them. So these kind of foods have to be taken in moderation if you have to have a healthy liver and liver functioning. Now, what kind of foods is good for the liver? Green leafy vegetables. Okay, dark green leafy vegetables are believed to have cooling effect, and they are going to help in cleansing the liver. So people who have excess toxins in them, who have the urge or the requirement to detox, can have green juices in the morning. Okay, what is green juice? Take all possible available green leafy vegetables and green leafy green foods. Okay, green apple, your karela or your broccoli, your green leafy asparagus, all these leaves, your methi, your mint. You can make a juice out of them, strain them and have it first thing in the morning on empty stomach. Okay, excellent for detox. Sour foods will enhance the property of liver or increase the functioning of the liver. Okay, such as vinegar. Citrus fruits are all sour fruits. Okay, just now we talked about sour taste. Okay, they're all excellent for promoting liver qi movement. People who are having liver qi stagnation can have sour foods to increase the movement of or help in facilitating the movement of qi, eliminating the stagnation. Okay, moderate amounts of warm foods. Okay, if you can have to increase your liver functioning. Okay, warming foods like having ginger, some spices included in your food. Okay, but do not use them in excess. Excess will cause excess liver. I told you, yang or liver heat. Bitter foods. Okay, bitter is also used here. Even though bitter is the taste of the heat element or the heart element, you can use bitter fruits like bitter melon and dandelion green here. It will help in your liver. The next organ is lungs. So foods that affect the lungs are or to be taken in moderation are spicy foods. Okay, having a lot of chili peppers. Okay, lot of spice, garam masala, everything that you have. Okay, masala chai. If you're having chai and masala chai, don't have them daily. Okay, this is going to cause excess heat in your lungs and it is going to dry your lungs. It is going to stop the functioning of or circulation of chi in your lungs. And we all know lungs play a very important role in the formation and circulation of chi in our body. The air chi that we get, the da chi that we get. Okay. And dairy products to be taken in moderation for better, strong, healthy lungs, because dairy products can create phlegm in the body. And you know, the first organ that is affected by phlegm is the lungs. Okay. People who are sensitivity, having a lot of sensitivity towards dairy, so it is better to avoid, okay, than looking for other forms of refined or processed kind of foods. Please avoid dairy foods. Right? Cold and raw foods, okay, they are also going to create a lot of coldness. You know, you need a little bit of warmth and a little bit of moisture in your lungs for them to function properly. Having a lot of excessive consumption of raw food is going to create excessive coldness in the lungs and in the body. Okay, it is going to weaken your digestive system. And when your digestive system is weak, it is not going to be able to eliminate the humidity or phlegm in your body. We know the major function of our spleen and stomach is to transform and transport the food, particularly the kapha nature or the phlegm nature, humid nature. Okay, so use this in moderation. Again, processed and refined foods, particularly those which contain a lot of additives, preservatives in them, they can have very bad effect on your lungs. So always emphasizes, TCM always emphasizes on wholesome foods, naturally available foods. Okay. So again, spicy foods like dairy products, cold and raw foods, processed and refined foods have to be avoided. What are the foods that is going to benefit your lungs? Pungent foods. Pungent means which have very strong taste. Your garlic, your onions, your gingers, okay, they all will disperse your lung chi, help in moving of your lung chi. So in turn will help in increasing your health of your lung. Okay, they are going to create warmth in your body. We already learned just now, that sour foods or pungent foods are going to create warmth and help in movement of chi. Okay, so garlic, ginger, and onions are good for your lungs. One particular trick I always tell my patients, it is not just taking orally. If you have small kids in your house who are suffering with a lot of cold cough, particularly cough with phlegm, that is very difficult to expectorate. All through the night, they're coughing, they're vomiting, but phlegm is not coming. All you can do is take one onion, chop it into half, make a thin slice, put it under the sole of the feet, cover it with a cloth, or if you can wear a socks and anything, leave it overnight. This is an excellent treatment or home remedy for colds and coughs. Your kids, or if you are doing it, will have a good night's sleep. That is guaranteed. Tested and proven technique. Okay. So you can use this. I generally do it or advise my patients to use that. People who do not use garlic or onions can use any other thing. You can use ginger. Generally, we say, na, you put ginger putty over here on the lung reflex if you're having a lot of cold, that you can do. Lung dryness remedy, ma'am, please. Nose dryness. If you're having nose dryness, that means you're already having too much of dryness in the lungs. So if you have to eliminate dryness, you have to incorporate water. Just now we talked about dryness. Okay. You have to do hydration and lubrication. Start eating these kinds of foods. You will start seeing relief in your issue. Okay. Yes. Somebody wants me to repeat. Repeat what? What do you want me to repeat? Joke. Joke has some doubt. In what particular concept, if you tell me, I will repeat it. So people who have dryness related issues, you can start having these kind of foods. Okay. This is very good for increasing your lung dryness or your lung health. Yeah. Next is white colored fruits. Foods that are white in color, okay, are very good for your lung health. So have a lot of white color foods. What are the white color foods? You can include pears, white fungus. Okay. In China and other continental countries, you will see white rice is a staple. They will have a lot of white rice. Okay. So these kind of foods, if you're incorporating, they are good for increasing your lung health. Okay. Mild, sweet kind of foods, not the excess sweet kind of foods, because I told you rice is also coming under sweetness, but they come under mild. Okay. You have the extreme end of coldness, you have the other extreme of hotness, and in between you have the neutral kind of foods. Okay. So what are the mild, sweet kind of foods? Your honey, your dates, basically all your dry fruits that you have. Okay. They come under the mild, sweet tastes. So these are good for increasing your lung health. So honey drops you take when you have cold and cough, it is very good, but some people tend to overdo it. If you overdo honey, you will be doing more harm because you are going to increase more humidity or dampness and more phlegm will be there. So use in moderation. Okay. Yeah. And moistening foods. Just now, somebody was asking about dry nose. If you're having a lot of dryness in your lung and in your nose, moistening foods you have to take. What are them? Fruits and vegetables, lot of salads you need to take in your food. Okay. Juices, you need to take soups. All these things are moistening foods. Okay. You need to increase the intake of these foods. Right. Okay. You want me to, yeah, mushroom is also a white food. Radish also comes under white food. They're all going to help the functioning of or increase the increase the capacity of your lungs. Okay. I will repeat once again. For nighttime cough for kids, one thing you can do is you can take onion or garlic, cut them. You can either make them into a small paste, make a poultice and keep, or you can just take that onion rings, that small slices, put them under your feet, wear a socks or cover it with muslin cloth and sleep. This is going to help in eliminating all the phlegm. Okay. Yes, excessive phlegm accumulation and wheezing, same. You can try onion today. Do this experiment on yourself. If you're having a lot of excess phlegm and wheezing, today we're not going to talk about any acupuncture points. Today we learn to treat ourselves with food according to TCM perspective. Okay, this itself work. I always tell my students, okay, every now and then they ask, ma'am, this problem, what point? This problem, what point? I'll tell them points come later. Acupuncture points always come later in treatment. The first basic thing that you need to start treating is with food. Okay, start treating yourself with food first, and then start using acupuncture points, acupressure, or any other kind of TCM techniques you can use. Okay? So food is the main thing. If you're eating food, if you're drinking water properly, you will not need any other medicine. Isn't it? You will see people, particularly who are born in the 70s and 80s or 90s even. We are fortunate enough to have old grandparents. Okay, grandparents who belong to the older generation. Okay, so dust allergy is different. Okay, dust allergies, all allergies are either caused because of excess issue in your liver, or if your defensive chi is weak. Okay, for that, again, you need to increase your lung capacity, functioning of your lung. You need to improve your liver functioning. All these things we talked until now, we talked about liver and lungs. These foods you need to start incorporating if you're having allergies. Okay, particularly bronchitis and nasal related allergies, if you have, you need to incorporate these things. So we were talking about our own old parents or grandparents. Okay, you will see any kind of illness they have, they will stop eating. That one day they will fast. They will not have anything, or they will go on a liquid diet. They will take some porridge or ganji or soups and other things, and they will sleep. The next day morning they will do fine, because they knew this principle that when you are sick, when you are having cold, you need to give a break. Okay, right. Empty stomach drinking water, good or bad? Yeah, empty stomach drinking water is always good. You should never drink water on a full stomach. Okay, drinking water with food in your system, in your stomach, one thing, it is going to dilute the acid in your stomach. Okay, if acid is diluted, digestion is harmed. And the second thing is, it will act as a flush even before your food is undergone the process of digestion. Okay, at each different level in your digestive system, your food has to be retained for a particular amount of time, and it has to undergo a particular process. If you are having loads of water immediately after your stomach is full, it is going to be very bad for your digestion. So yes, empty stomach drinking water is good. Herbal teas, all your herbal teas, they come under the spicy characteristics. I told you, heat characteristics, and your lungs require certain amount of heat and moisture both. Okay, so what are the spice teas that you can drink? Okay, chrysanthemum, mulberry, your lemon tea, your green tea. Okay, all these spices, the masala chai that you drink. Okay, the ginger infused tea that you drink. Okay, sometimes you add a little bit of dalchini or pepper and your mint leaves, your tulsi, all these things are spices. All these herbal spice tea are good for your lungs. So having them once in a while on a regular basis is good. Now that ma'am is told, herbal tea, spice tea is good. Morning, afternoon, again late afternoon, evening, every now and then, if you have 5 to 10 cups of spice tea every day, the second or third day, you will start having bleeding piles, okay, painful urination and other things. constipation and other things. Like I told you, you need to take everything with a pinch of salt. You need to have some self-discretion as to when and what and how much you need to have. They say even having amrita in large quantities is not good. Too much of amrita is also vish, they say, poisonous. Similarly, these are all known to have beneficial properties, but when overdone, they can cause issues. So the next organ is heart. Foods to be avoided for heart is excessive animal fat. Okay, it is believed to increase the dampness and heat in the body. Damp heat is going to increase. So that is very bad for your heart. A lot of accumulation and stagnation will be there. Okay, unwanted cholesterol accumulation will be there. Okay, spicy foods, again, not good for heart because they will generate a lot of heat and create an imbalance in the energy flow in the heart. Okay, the first one is a deficiency kind, the second one is the excess kind. Okay, so what are the foods good for the heart? Bitter tasting foods are good for the heart because they are going to help in circulation. I told you, elimination of stagnation, if any. Okay, bitter melons. Okay, they are very good for your cardiac health. Yeah, and moderate amount of warming foods. Okay, like if you are a non-vegetarian, you can have liver. Liver is a warming food. Okay, your ginger, your spices. Okay, your peanuts. They are all warming kind of foods. They are going to produce more warm and help in circulation. Okay? These kind of foods are good for your heart. Moderate sweet foods like honey and dates are also advisable for better heart health. Okay, why? Because these foods are known to promote the functioning of or increase the iron content and hemoglobin content in your body. So in turn, it is very, very good for your heart health. Right. The next organ is spleen, which is the humidity organ. Okay. What are the foods to be avoided? When I say spleen, you should understand humidity means excess cold or excess raw foods. Raw foods in moderation is good. Overdoing raw foods will create more coldness in the body. And you know, you already learned that spleen does not like cold. Your digestive system does not like cold. Okay. It requires hot and foods basically that help in circulation. Okay. Damp producing foods. What are the damp producing foods? Major category of foods that come under damp producing foods are your dairy, your sweets, your oils, your deep fried foods, all these things. So basically all the junk foods that you can think of. Okay. People say paneer is good. Paneer is dairy food. But can I have? People who are deficient in spleen, who start having paneer, you will not, your spleen will not work because your spleen is already deficient. It no longer has the capacity to eliminate the dampness. You're giving more paneer, more dampness. Your spleen will become even more deficient. Okay. All those who have teeth mark in your tongue, go to the mirror now. Look at your tongue. If you're having teeth mark, say no to paneer. Say no to dairy foods. Say no to sweet foods. Say no to oily foods. Okay. So that is how you can identify whether you can have these kind of foods or not. You need to avoid dairy foods. Yes. What foods are good for spleen? Again, warm and cooked foods. This is going to help in increasing the circulation and easily digestible foods. So when these foods are already cooked, they're easily digestible and the nutrients are in ready absorbable form. So obviously the load and the work on your spleen is reduced. So these foods will enhance your spleen function, particularly patients who are complaining of spleen C deficiency. If I see patients with spleen C deficiency, I will tell them to have warm meals every day. 3 meals, have warm meals. Whatever you cook, have it warm. Okay, don't eat stale foods. What are the foods that come under stale foods? Dead foods that we discussed in the last class with preservatives, lot of chemicals, lot of salt, lot of sugar. Okay, they are all not good for your spleen function, right? So warm and foods are excellent for your spleen. Mild sweet foods, because your spleen is a humidity organ after all. So the flavor of sweetness will enhance or support the functioning of spleen, but it has to be in a mild form. For example, if you're taking rice, if you're taking sweet potatoes, carrots, okay, if you're taking honey, you're taking dates, dry fruits, they're all mild sweet fruits, which are good for your digestive system. The next organ is kidney. Okay, foods that affect the kidney are excessive salty foods. If you're consuming foods that are excessively salty, okay, all your chips, kurkure, Pringles, Mad Angles, even your biscuits to an extent, they have excess salt in them. Okay, if you're having too much seafood is also considered to be salty. Too much of seafood. Okay, if you're having too much of soya sauce, they're also excessive salt foods. So they're going to affect your kidney. Overly cold foods. Okay, food that are excessively cool. What are excessive cold foods? Again, eating lot of raw foods, green leafy vegetable salads, excess consumption. That is why we say, no, have a balanced diet means we have one portion of salads, one portion of sourness, one portion of spice, one portion of sweetness. We have different course, 5-course meals, 6-course meals. We have, no? That is because everything has to be taken in moderation. So excess consumption of raw foods will create coldness in the body. And excess coldness, again, will weaken your kidney, because your kidney has to eliminate that excess coldness, and it is working double shift, over shift, and it is getting exhausted. Okay. Using excessive cold foods is known to reduce the or deplete your kidney yang energy. So kidney yang is very much required for functioning of kidney, particularly in young kids, growing kids. Kidney yang is required for growth, for bone growth, for muscle growth, for all kind of growth, for your growth hormones to be secreted and other things. If your kidney yang is deficient, your growth will be deficient, your immune system will be down, your bone marrow, your stem cell production will be down, your kidney essence production will be down, your kidney essence circulation will become down. So all sorts of issues you will start seeing. So if you're giving your kids a lot of cold related foods, particularly in exam time, kidney yang is down, memory is not there, recollection is not there, okay, concentration is not there, all these things will happen. Okay. Next, what foods are good for kidney? Black colored foods, any black colored foods, black or bluish colored foods. Okay, like your black beans, your rajmas, your black sesame seeds. If you're having polished seeds, it is not that good. If you're having original black sesame seeds, they are very good. Okay, if you are eating jamun fruit, okay, these kind of fruits, blackberries, blueberries, okay, black grapes that you have, okay, dark colored leafy vegetables if you're eating, they're all good for your kidney, right? Moderate amount of salty foods, okay, for example, your seafoods, okay, or when you're cooking, if you're having moderate amount of salt, particularly what kind of salt? We have discussed this in the last few classes. Not the refined iodized salt. You need to take wholesome salt, either rock salt from the sea or Himalayan rock salt, or the Celtic salt, or whatever kind of naturally available salt that you get. Okay, using these kind of salts, that too in moderate amounts, is good to promote your kidney functioning. Okay, next let's look at gallbladder. We'll finish up with gallbladder, and the remaining we'll take in the next class, because I think another 2 classes we'll be talking about nutrition only. A lot of things to discuss here. Okay, so foods to be avoided for gallbladder is again fried and greasy foods, and large meals, particularly late in the night, is not advisable for gallbladder functioning. It is going to harm your gallbladder because late night heavy meals will keep your gallbladder occupied in digestion process, so it will not be able to do the elimination process. This is when if you're having very late night meals and large, heavy, oily food, if you're having late in the night, people will start to develop gallbladder stones, cholecystitis, and all other issues. Okay. What foods are good? Bitter foods, like I told, similar to your liver, bitter foods are very good for your gallbladder health. Citrus fruits are good for your gallbladder health. They are going to help in dispersing or eliminating the chi stagnation in your gallbladder or any form of stagnation, bile stagnation or fluid stagnation, whatever. Good for elimination of your gallbladder. Bitter melons, dandelion greens, citrus fruits, and lean proteins are good for your gallbladder health, right? I think small intestine and other things we can take in the next class, or another 10 minutes we'll finish off with the young organs also. Small intestine, foods to be avoided, excess cold foods. Okay, this is going to cause indigestion in your small intestine. You will have a lot of bloating, pain around your navel area, lot of flatulence with foul smell, everything you will have. Okay, excess raw foods, again, you know, raw foods are going to create coldness. So excess raw food consumption is also not good for intestine. See, you might think that small intestine comes under the fire element, isn't it? But again, when I'm talking about small intestine, I'm talking about humidity elemental. I'm talking about coldness. I'm talking about cold foods. I'm talking about raw foods. Why? Because we have already learned in the basic course, when we say digestion, digestion is not just related to your stomach and spleen. Your digestion starts from your mouth and ends at your anus. So it is the complete alimentary canal that is affected if your digestion is not proper. So similarly, whatever is affecting your spleen and spleen, stomach, and liver will affect your small intestine also. Okay. So yeah, what foods are good for the small intestine? Warm and cooked foods, easily digestible foods are good for your small intestine. Ginger, again, I told you it is an astringent. Okay, sour food, and it is a spice, and it is going to help in dispersing or movement of chi. So if there is movement in your small intestine, that is very good for digestion, because the food has to move in your intestine. If there is not enough movement, there is going to be purification. There is going to be fermentation that is happening inside. A lot of unwanted bacterial growth will be there. Infections will happen. Okay, that is when you will start having foul smelling, diarrhea, and other things. Right? So ginger is good for this kind of stagnations. High fiber foods like whole grains and vegetables are very good for your small intestine. Obviously, if the bolus has to move, we all know that fiber is an important aspect in our digestion. No volume? Can't you hear me? Somebody
Yes,
says
ma'am.
no volume.
Hearing you.
Okay. Those
Somebody
who can't
might
hear
have
me,
a
please.
data connection.
Yeah. Check your data or log out and log in again. Okay. High fiber foods are excellent for small intestine. Coming to the stomach, you need to avoid excessive cold foods as usual. Okay. Because too much of cold foods will disrupt your Jataragni or your stomach fire, leading to indigestion and imbalance in stomach chi. Okay. Excessive raw foods again will create a lot of dampness in the body, which is not good for the stomach. You'll be overworking your stomach if you're creating more dampness. Foods good for the stomach, warm and cooked foods, similar to your spleen. Ginger is very good. Okay. Particularly if you're having digestive issues related to excess stomach chi or rebellious chi, okay, which is causing nausea, vomiting, and other things, you can have ginger. It is very good for eliminating these kind of issues. It is going to help in, see, ginger is a spice. Okay, it is going to help in moving of the chi downwards. So whatever rebellious chi that you are having, it is going to move it down. So that excess yang that is there, it is going to reduce. Again, have it in moderation. Too much of ginger can also create heat. So use your discretion, use your common sense as to when and what situations you need to use ginger. Okay. Again, bitter fruits are very good for stomach. Okay. Why bitter fruits are good? Bitter will control, or it is a mother element to your humidity element. So it is going to enhance the functioning of the stomach. Okay. All the humid transformation and transportation property of your stomach and spleen will improve with bitter fruits. Fiber rich fruits are excellent for your digestion, for your stomach health. So have adequate or good amount of fruits and vegetables in your diet. That is particularly first thing. If it's the first thing that you're having for your meal, when you sit to eat, if you're eating fruits and vegetables before you start eating proteins and carbohydrates and other things, that is the best thing that you can do for your digestion. Okay. It is going to, basically what is doing is, this fiber is going to create a mesh or a barrier. Okay. And it is going to help in slowing down the movement or release of your carbohydrates and other fats and other things into the bloodstream. So people who are having a lot of diabetes related issues, blood sugar related issues, start eating fiber rich foods first before anything else in your meal. Have fruits and salad, one small bowl of fruits and salad you eat first. After that, you go on eating your rice, chapati, sweet, whatever other things you feel like eating. You automatically will start seeing a lot of change in your sugar spike will be there. Right? Coming to the large intestine, foods that affect the large intestine are excess dry and hard foods. I told you, dry foods, your chapatis, your biryanis, your burgers, your pizzas, they are all dry foods. So this is very bad for your large intestine, because the function of your large intestine is to absorb water. Okay. Most of your nutrient absorption will happen in your small intestine. Whatever bolus is left. Okay. In large intestine, its main function is elimination. It will absorb all the water and eliminate the waste. First itself, if you are giving it dry food, there is no water available for it to absorb. It is going to affect your large intestine. Okay. In order to keep the large intestine moist, it will start pulling out water from other regions of the body, and you will start losing water in other areas of the body. Other organs will not function properly. So dry foods are very bad for your large intestine. Now people will say, ma'am, what about dry fruits? Dry fruits are dry, they are also dry. No? Is it good or bad? Should we eat dry fruits or not? Please tell me in the comments. I want to know the answer for this, because I already given the explanation in the last class. Should we have them? Is dry fruits good for large intestine? Come on, tell me. I've already given the answer. Who wants to answer? Yes. Yes. Nishad there says, yes, dry fruits are good, but you need to soak them and eat. You know, dry fruits contain a lot of fiber. They contain a lot of essential oils. These are all lubricating and moistening foods. So if you're soaking them, we already learned how to eat dry fruits in the last class. If you're soaking them and eating them, it is an excellent food for your digestion. They do have a lot of fiber in them. Okay. So when I say dry foods, it is not dry fruits. Okay. It is the food that is lacking moisture and water content in them. Okay. Or having excess yang properties in them. Okay. Yeah. Processed foods and food with additives are also not good for your large intestine. Okay. Because they can't, any kind of chemical, your system will not be able to process them. Right. What are the foods good for your large intestine? Like I told you, fiber rich foods. Okay. Whole grains, vegetables. Okay. Your fruits that have a lot of fiber in them. You can have them in adequate quantity. I say adequate, I don't say too much, because everything has to be taken in moderation. Okay, these are very good for large intestine. Plenty of water. Remember, water is also food, not just solid food. So try to incorporate the water content in your body. I told you 70% of your body is made of water. So when you eat food, when you eat a meal, make sure 70% of water you get in that. That doesn't mean you drink 2 glasses of water and start eating chapatis. Not like that. Remember, digestion starts in your mouth. So what enters here, from here, it is going to send the signal to your brain and tell what kind of food is there, what kind of digestion process should happen, and other things. So instead of eating a biryani, have some sambar rice or some noodle soup, something like that. Okay. Yeah, whole grains and vegetables are very good for large intestine health. Coming to urinary bladder, foods to be avoided. Again, excess salt foods will create a lot of stress and load on your kidney and urinary bladder. So try to avoid them. If you're having any urinary bladder related issues or issues in the urinary bladder meridian, okay, stop eating excess spicy foods, excess salty foods. Okay. Insufficient water intake is also not good for your urinary bladder. If you're not taking enough water, okay, your urinary tract will become dry and it will start harboring all kinds of bacteria, fungal, viruses, and other things. You will start having UTIs. So insufficient amount of water is essential. What are the kind of foods good for urinary bladder? Again, water-rich foods like cucumber, watermelon, your soups, your juices, okay, all those things. And any moderate amount of salt that you take, particularly if you are having cooked your meal with little bit amount of salt, and if you're eating them, I don't talk about adding salt topically on top of your food. If you're cooking your food, or if you're adding salt in the process of cooking, that is very good for the health of your urinary bladder. So eating seafood is also good for urinary bladder. Okay. Coming to the triple warmer, excessive cold food is very bad for triple warmer. So because we know the triple warmer consists of upper warmer, middle warmer, and lower warmer. So if you're having all the 3 different warmer kind of foods, okay, based on what organ comes in what warmer, that is the best thing that you can do for your triple warmer. Okay, excessive raw foods, again, if you're having excessive raw foods, it is going to have imbalance in the middle warmer. So that is not good. Foods good for triple warmer are moderate amount of warming foods and having a balanced diet with all required essential nutrients in them. This is very good for your triple warmer. So from the next class, we will start talking about a little bit of nutrition for pregnant women and what they need to eat. And we will conclude with the different, what kind of foods you need to eat in what seasons. Okay. With that, we will conclude the next class or the nutrition part of the class. Okay. So hope today's class was informative. Any doubts you have in today's class, you can ask in the group or you can message me directly. I will be very happy to clarify your doubts, or in case I am not knowing anything, I will make sure I do a little bit of research and I give you the answer to the best of my capabilities. Okay. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed today's class and thank you for joining today's class. See you on Friday's class. Okay. Thank you. Shubhratri. Good night.